Listener discretion is advised. It's time for another Steel Revolution podcast.
Playing Steel Revolution's podcast.
Please keep in mind that the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individuals, and they do not reflect any official view of the United Steelworkers, USW Local 105, or its officers or sub-board members for officers.
Are we on?
Uh-oh.
I'll get it. It's unplugged and...
Jeez, I thought we were
So
ready.
we're not really going to be on today then. Well, we got Pat here, so we'll be off all day. It don't
Apparently
matter.
we weren't ready. Buddy?
We're almost there.
Now he's going to fall and get hurt.
Well, that's... There
Oh, hey,
we go.
hey,
It's
we're on the
official.
air.
It's official.
Jeez. There.
Lights on.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Thanks for being prepared.
I have nothing.
I appreciate you, Sean.
Thank you, Mike. Likewise.
Where's my script that Glarion Hotel?
And we
Where's
can't
your-
hear you.
I can't hear you at all, Stock.
You're going to have to
You're going to have to ad-lib it.
talk into the
Or I
mic
have
or
it.
something.
Yeah.
All right, welcome.
Wow.
He's lost.
Yeah. What is he looking for?
Yeah, what are you
He's
looking
looking for
for?
a script.
This is it. You got an
The
agenda.
hotel? The hotel. I've got it. I'm not too worried about it.
Oh, he's stubborn.
I've got
That's
it.
his jingle. The
Oh,
hotel
yes.
for the...
Oh yeah. Oh, you better go get him. Huh?
That's...
He
No.
should know it by now.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I did too.
Hey,
That's what I was
hey,
like.
maybe-
I was wondering what he was talking about.
I bet Sean could just cut in the other one.
There you go. Do that.
Jingle for what?
The
Remember
hotel
how
discount.
He sold
Oh,
it?
yeah.
He's like a professional
Oh, yeah, he's good.
pitch guy. He doesn't beat you though, Sean.
Whatever.
I'm working on it. I'll be down in St. Gerardo or whatever.
St. Gerardo.
Jesus.
It's going to be one of those podcasts. Great.
Well, it's already started off good.
We met some people from Missouri while we were
Oh, yeah.
out at the conference, and the first thing Lee asked goes, "Where's that from Cape Girardeau?"
What's wrong with that?
You laughed, but he seriously asked that.
I bet he looked really smart asking that too.
Didn't look dumb.
Well,
Not-
Well, you know when
Not for
people
that question, anyway.
when people don't really know you,
Yeah.
so they're like, "Oh, okay, maybe." Yeah.
You ever been there? No.
Like, I know a guy.
This is going in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
Fast.
so welcome to Steel Revolution 133.
133.
You like that? Huh?
Yeah.
Wow,
no,
switch it
we
up.
switched
Oh,
it.
wow.
Yeah.
That's how good we are. We could just switch it up.
I'm Sean Geisens.
Roy Hutt.
Mike Nicholas. Pat Stock.
Lee Schaefer.
Now it's your show.
Pat sounds like he's like in a box down the hall or something.
He's waiting for the lotion.
We'll lower it
That's
down
a basket down in the
Yeah.
down in the well.
soon. Yeah.
So whatever.
Not
All
a
right.
box and a hole.
Not a
That's something else.
box down the hallway.
Surprised you've seen that movie.
Kind of. Shut up, Lee.
He's gonna get the hose.
We just better move on.
Yeah,
I
we
could see
better
this
go quick.
going in a
Too late.
bad direction. No worse though.
Yeah.
It can get worse, Mike.
Oh, I know it can't.
Just remember that. A reminder: the 2026 contract is up on
2026.
Yep, in 2026, 12 p.m. on May 16th. So you have 103 checks left before then. So if you save $50 a week, that's $5,150. And last week on the 16th, to mark 2 years out, various members of the CAT team, your bargaining reps, stewards, and that were out at the gates passing out flyers. Again, those flyers were just to kind of get the membership, thinking ahead. You got 2 years to save. Time's ticking. It'll be here before you know it. We heard all sorts of things after passing them out, that it was, or your dues are going up $50. That wasn't right. Something that talked about our current wage increases were minimal. The economic package from the last contract was the was the highest that was ever achieved in a contract. And a reminder that 4.5% raise did start on the 13th of May. So you do have that coming right now.
Yeah, it's all about preparing. Just
Absolutely.
make sure you're ready for the contract.
So coming up next week, Pat and I will be attending the healthcare meeting in Pittsburgh. It's basically where all the locations get together. We talk with the company. They give us the stats of the usage of the healthcare, both active and retirees, along with vision and dental. Then they go out and they talk about short-term disability. We're going to ask some questions about long-term disability. And then we bring up any issues we've not been able to solve or have had difficulty with. We're going to talk a lot about short-term disability. We're going to discuss some issues where we're having problems with the insurance not paying, with issues like coding. And then towards the end of the day, I don't think we're all involved in it, but the company's going to get together with Vice President Ramirez and probably a few others and talk about the funding of the pensions, which they do every time anyway. It's nothing new. So they talk about it at least once a year, Pat.
Yes.
So that'll be our time out in Pittsburgh, and then we'll bring the information back to the membership.
That's what I was thinking about for an issue. That's what it was. So it's the reminder, anybody that's on the defined contribution plan, you have long-term disability, and that the transition from short-term to long-term should be automatic. We've only seen it come up a couple of times where somebody's been in that situation,
Yep.
and it's been an issue getting them from one to the other. And that was the one I was thinking about.
Well, and
Mike.
now it seems like we're all getting different answers, so we wanna shore that one up for everybody. So
Reminder about your benefits, that your dependent kids have insurance through the month that they turn 26, or that coverage continues if they are unmarried and incapable of self-care. Mike, you got any updates on safety?
So safety, so we did, since the last podcast I was on, we did get the citations back from the 2 injuries in the plant, both the plate mill and the labs. The plate mill one, they got one serious citation worth about $9,800. It was for not ensuring the employees are staying away from a suspended load. And then we did get 3 in the labs, all serious, for a total of about $18,000. All had to do with machine guarding and lockout tagout. We did have the informal conference on Tuesday. Surprising to us, the company chose to use a lawyer, and as far as we're concerned, did not speak the truth. So we've got a lot of work to do with the company to get back to where we were, but there will be more to come on that. We'll let the membership know how the company's contesting these citations and moving forward.
When was the last, I mean, you seemed shocked. So when was the last time they used a lawyer, Mike, or?
Since I've been on the joint committee in 2009 and the co-chair since 2013, I've never seen them use a lawyer for the informal conferences.
So the monetary fines they get, does that hold off while they're
Yeah,
trying to figure
so
this out?
they have to file this letter of contest within the 15 days. They had like 2 days left after, and so I'm sure they've filed it. We'll get a copy of it since we're the representative of the members. But yeah, then everything goes on hold until they can figure out which lie they're going to tell next. So
Nice.
Yeah, so just a reminder, local union elections were held April 23rd. The newly elected officers and committee persons took office at the May 21st business meeting. That was this week. They will be sworn in at the June business meeting when the staff rep returns. So congratulations to everybody that was elected and everybody that ran. Just like to make one announcement. I got a call today. It sounds like past President Leo Ruth had passed away this morning. For people that remember that, Leo was held about every office in the local union. He was a 3-term president in the late 70s and 80s, and he was one of the officers responsible for building our union hall. So, like I said, I believe he was 90, and Sound like he lived a good long life.
So as we get the information for his services, we will pass it on.
Yep, just another note, on May 15th, we held the International held their Your Union, Your Voice town hall meetings. It's pretty well attended. A lot of the things that they talked about were workers' issues across the district, and bigger issues across the United States with the Steelworkers Union. One thing that they brought up is that when you're running for office, or you know somebody wants to run for office, and they're asking for help from the United Steelworkers, there is a questionnaire to fill out, and they have to fill out that questionnaire if they want endorsed by the United Steelworkers.
And Pat, if somebody's running and they get some, say, financial support from the steelworkers, where does that money come from?
That comes from the International and the PAC fund. All right, PAC fund is separate. All locals, including the International Steelworker, can't just donate money. The PAC fund is a voluntary fund that you voluntarily donate to, and that's where that money comes from.
So it does not come from our dues.
It does not come from our dues.
Thanks, Pat. And that led us into the Rapid Response Conference, which Lee and I attended. One thing that's always stressed about Rapid Response, and especially whenever we interviewed like Bob Ryan, our coordinator for District 11, is it's not about a party, it's about policies. So when we go out and we do things like this, it's about policies. And Lee, did you want to share what we were talking about, what kind of policies while we were out there?
Yeah, the first one was something really here at our local affects us greatly, is the staffing, the funding and staffing of the NLRB. We have filed many labor board charges, and we've seen how long it's been taking to get a response, or we might do an affidavit and then God knows how long. Some of these we've been waiting over a year. So, and these are things that we believe the company's just flat out breaking the law. So it's very frustrating. This is something we thought was very important to talk to. We actually talked in person to Representative Miller Meeks and then Senator Joni Ernst. Those are the ones that we talked to in person. The others weren't available. We dropped packets off at their office and with where we stand on issues. Another important one was the shipbuilding, maritime practices from China. It's kind of crazy to think that China, in the last year, they built over 1,000 commercial vessels compared to 10 in the U.S. It's crazy. They said in our heyday, we were much higher. We were never at the level of China at 1,000, but we definitely built a lot more than we're doing right now. So,
So to go along with that, the Steelworkers is the only union that we know about that files trade cases. And for a union to file a trade case, they have to represent so much of the percentage of the people in that industry, which is why it's important we have people and we have the density in those sectors to be able to file the trade cases. And then also each trade case costs $1 million or so to put on.
Well,
So-
you also have to show harm to the members.
Yep.
So it's not just the $1 million to start it. You have to show harm that
Job losses, right?
Job losses. That they harmed your membership.
and here's to me, the shitty thing that's going on with China is, we've done a lot of these trade cases. China's just trying to circumvent around each one of our, trade cases. They'll, it can't come from China, so they'll go through Indonesia or
Mexico.
Wherever,
Yep.
to get around. So they're constantly, if we're not on our game and we constantly got to adjust our trade cases to combat that, because China definitely is trying to do illegal things.
Another sad thing is a lot of the companies that we're filing trade cases on in behalf of, they don't even join in until we're down the line.
Yep.
So it'd be much better if a company were filing a trade case against aluminum, China importing this cheap aluminum.
Yep.
If Arconic or other aluminum companies would jump in on that, but no, they don't. And that's
It's to affect them directly.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about that.
Let's say one of the other issues, and one of the main issues that we lobbied on, goes right with that. So when a worker's job is impacted by trade, there's the
Trade adjustment assistance.
trade adjustment assistance. I was getting trade and then not thinking one of the other A's. So that's a program that impacted workers that lose their job due to unfair trade or to free trade agreements, or that can apply for them benefits, get I believe it's like 11, no, not 11 weeks, more than that.
Oh, yeah, I don't know if they gave them a certain amount.
Anyway, paid training so you can get reskilled. In Missouri, you think about the first time the Miranda plant went down the smelter, we were talking to staff reps out of that area and went and lobbied with some of them, since we were in the aluminum sector, and they had said a lot of people went back to school, they became nurses, and they got other jobs, and they moved on, but they used that TAA as we called it. They used that for help.
Yeah.
And then Lee, what do you remember? When was the last time they had that? It was 22.
Yep, June 30th of 22.
So we're going on multiple years where this hasn't been funded,
Yep.
and roughly they'd figure that it impacts 5,000 steel workers and over 100,000 some workers across the U.S. that could be using this right now.
Yep. Another big one was Nippon Steel. That was huge, and really the Nippon Steel and the shipbuilding, we saw huge support from everyone we saw. So I don't see any issues on our legislators from Iowa supporting us, at least the ones that we talked to on these. Nippon Steel is a Japanese company that has China ties, so for one of those countries to own one of our biggest steel companies is absolutely just frightening.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Think about it, the sovereignty of the
Yeah.
United States depends on keeping those companies in the United States and owned by the United States.
Yep. Well, and if they get mad, they're just like, "Oh, we're going to take jobs out of here."
Yeah.
It's really scary. But I at least I don't know, Roy, if you got that feeling. It felt like everyone we talked to really supported us on that issue, so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, U.S. Steel said they were up for sale. Cliffs or Cleveland Cliffs put in a good bid, and then Nippon Steel came in and blew it out of the water because they wanted it. And the Japanese steel industry, they do not have to make steel as clean as we do, so they don't have the environmental restrictions and laws that we do. So there's a big fear that they're just going to take it, and then they're just going to take a bunch of jobs over to Japan and leave us with not much. They've been I guess not as forthcoming of what they want to do with the jobs.
I mean, think about it. The Golden Gate Bridge, when that was rebuilt, rehab, all that steel came from China. They ended up having to redo the whole thing, and that was just a few years ago.
Yep, absolutely. The last one that we lobbied about was nursing homes, the safe staffing levels in nursing homes. A lot of these, we talked. There were some nurses that talked about it, and their staffing levels are crazy low. I mean, to where, there were some that spoke that someone had fell out of their bed, and they were like out of their bed. Did they say a couple days?
Yeah.
Couple days, and they didn't have enough staffing to go around and check on that person. To me, when, our loved ones shouldn't have to go through that. And, unfortunately, some of us may end up in there at some point, and I don't want to be treated like that. It's crazy. Right now there is a bill that does have a safe or a minimum safe staffing level, and there's some out there that want to remove that and make it to where companies can just decide, hey, whatever they feel is necessary to be a safe staffing level or minimum staffing level. So we talked about that as well.
Healthcare has become a bigger portion of the steel workers year after year.
Yep.
So I know they're looking in Iowa to unionize, get some healthcare places in Iowa under the union, and start protecting them as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we heard that at a panel, and it was like some of these places, it's one person to 30 people.
Yeah.
It just crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I know you spoke about it, Roy. I think it's just really important to know that this isn't necessarily a Democrat or Republican thing. Any of these issues are. They're labor's issues, and they affect, us here in Iowa and, a lot of other states as well. So.
Yeah, I mean, to finish up the report from that conference, what? Way to go, Mike.
Somebody's in here.
Are they listening to the podcast?
Yeah, they could be.
Yeah.
See?
So to go along with that, at the end of our day lobbying, we did go around with some of our brothers from Missouri, and spoke to a couple of their representatives about Mag 7 or Magnitude 7 metals, and how the guy there that owned that company, well, first before Matt Lucky owned it, Apollo owned it and didn't do a good job of running it, sold it to this Matt Lucky. Matt Lucky had it for a little bit, and then he shut the plant down in what we were told was like the worst way possible. Didn't keep the pots hot or anything, so it was easier to start back up. They're looking at millions and millions of dollars to even get started back up. And when we talk about the being able to defend this country and have the metal we need on hand made here, that is, with that one shutting down, it looked to me, by what I could find, that there's now only 6 smelters in the U.S. So we're definitely at a loss, and more of that happening overseas, which we can't afford to have. So their representatives seem to be aware of it. They seem to be wanting to do something on
Yeah.
it. So
They didn't seem to be happy with this guy either, but what that means, I don't know.
when we did have a district meeting, and I guess not funny. I was going to say the funny thing, but it's not really funny. But it was really sad to hear all these other states that passed the veterans bill, that between Jeff and Lee and those veterans trying to work that through the Iowa Federation of Labor and get that introduced, or it never made it out of committee, right, Lee?
Right.
Is that what happened?
Yeah.
So again, that was just a bill to ask to post where veterans can find benefits. I mean, not a hard ask to do.
No.
For those veterans that serve this country, and they didn't want to do it, but we did hear several other states from around the district that passed it.
Yeah, it is sad. I mean, it's funny. You think about Iowa, we want to be the first to get kids back to work in the mines and all that stuff. But for veterans to get them information, it seems like we're going to be one of the last ones to get just information to them. That's all it is. It's sad. Just sad. But
On another note, the Veterans of Steel here at Davenport went out and helped plant flags at the Arsenal on Thursday. If you're available Tuesday the 27th at 8 a.m., they need more help taking them down. So that's 8 a.m. on the 27th over at the Arsenal.
Thanks, Pat. Reminder to get your attendance records ran after your absences, especially like FMLA, and if you're off on short term. There was an issue with the LifeWorks app and reporting off. We had several calls from people, hey, I called off FMLA, my day should have been covered, it's not covered. The company would look into it, they'd say, yep, they did their call right, it's for some reason it didn't go through. I think they finally figured out the problem, and if you have an Android phone, the app wasn't working with the Android software. They said they got it fixed now, but you should delete that app and reinstall it, and you should be good going forward. But again, it's always good to always watch your attendance records. And it's also good to watch your paycheck. So, Lee, is that back up? Are you able to see
Yeah.
them
Yep.
on your phone?
Yep.
Is it through the special way of the
Yeah, it's through the
the
oh, you put me on the
pay
spot.
link or something on
Yeah,
there?
it's,
The tab?
had to go off script.
Of course.
You got to be ready.
Apparently.
You never know.
Yeah.
We know better than to think you'd be ready.
Oh, what's it called? Quick links. As we wait, if you could only see Lee trying to open it up.
Oh, they can. I'm Facebook Live right now.
Are you? Oh, thanks, Sean.
How you doing, Lee?
Awesome.
Good. Thanks, buddy.
Anything to help you out.
It's not working.
That's
on
not
that.
working.
See, Roy, you put them on the spot, now it doesn't work.
See, now they changed it back.
Go through the other way?
Is there a back way into it?
Yeah. Try the back door, Lee.
No comments. I don't know what's going on. They changed it again. Well,
Just
more-
for you.
More to come on that.
Oh, he's trying one more time.
Eventually you'll get in. Wow, dead silence.
Oh, nope. Nope. It's not working. Well, I had to reach back out.
To Mitch, yeah.
Well, every time we say it's fixed,
Right?
then it doesn't work. We're just gonna quit bringing it up.
Consider the operator.
I think it was pay slips or something it was under. But I don't even see that pay slips isn't on there now at all.
Well, more to come on that. Reminder to also check your checks to make sure you're getting the proper pay grade and to check your withholdings. Make sure your withholdings are correct and you're withholding enough money. Another update from the Women of Steel Committee. They have a wine, booze, or beer basket. Tickets are... I should have you do this, Pat.
Wine, booze, or beer basket. Raffle tickets are 1 for $2 or 3 for $5. The proceeds from these baskets will go to the KSI and Rough Life Dog Rescue. To purchase, contact one of your Women of Steel in your department. Winner will be drawn on July 9th, and Lee is not eligible.
That's not true. Just not true.
Gotta stop the winning.
On another note, with all the severe weather we've been having, you may need a room here in Bettendorf because you won't be able to travel home. So again, check out the discounts at the Clarion Hotel in Bettendorf, Iowa. $55 a night, and they have an abundant breakfast menu.
Tell them Pat Stocks sent you.
You sell anything else?
Let's not ask
Just
that.
sold a truck.
Did you do? Did you do Avon or something?
All right, I
On the top
Or
of
was
our-
or was
Amway.
he did Amway.
or was that
Avon.
or did you have to sell like really go after selling popsicles or that when you had the ice cream
I
stand?
used to sell newspapers as a kid.
Yeah.
Probably Mary Kay. Didn't they have that pink Cadillac or whatever? He sold so much.
Oh, you'd look good in
Driving a
that.
pink Cadillac.
Oh,
Huh?
he'd look good in that.
Oh
I
yeah.
would look good.
Yeah.
Just one more thing on scholarships. We found another scholarship that wasn't used a lot this last year, the Max Smith Memorial Scholarship. If you're interested in more details on that, stop down to the Union Hall and pick up a flyer.
Yeah, there was a couple before we end up going down the last little bit here. There's a couple things we missed. One, next business meeting is June 18th, and go back up there. Our CAT team, it's going to be in this week's Forerunner, but our communication action team or CAT team that we usually kick off around contract time, they're going to be doing a lot of work here trying to set up solidarity events. If you got an idea on something, you might want to reach out to them. Tony Peck, Robert Paul Meyer, general mechanic, and Genaro Gomez out of IPS.
It's a mouthful.
Genario or
No,
G?
just G.
Just G, huh?
Anyway, if you got an idea or you know a bar, or restaurant, or some place that needs some support, let us know or let them know so we can try to get something going. But they're going to be working hard on that stuff leading up and through contract. Retirement. If you're looking at retiring and you need some questions answered or you want help through the process, our office manager, Dan, take care of you there. His hours are 6:30 to 2:30 Monday through Friday, except next week. He's still on vacation. He'll be back the week of June 3rd. Again, he's a go-to resource for your retirement questions or issues. Again, make sure you call ahead to the hall, especially while he is out another week, just to make sure somebody's going to be around here that can help you out. Don't just stop by. You might find that there's nobody here.
Mm-hmm.
Retirees, you get $125 in union, $175 of union merchandise. Go ahead, take it over, Mike. Go ahead.
Fine.
You're shaking your head. You take it over.
Well, did you want us to keep it at 125 so you screw them out of their $50 extra?
Yep. That's what I wanted to do, Mike.
So retirees get $175
You got me.
in union merchandise.
You got me, Mike.
We also cover your first year of SOAR dues. That's the Steelworkers Organization for Active Retirees. They meet the first Thursday of every month at 1:30 at our union hall. You want to keep going, or?
Well, you're doing such a great job. Go ahead.
Jesus, Roy.
Go ahead, Mike.
Don't forget to turn in your intent to retire at least 90 days early. Collect that $500 bonus.
You gonna say nothing else for the rest of the podcast?
I may not.
Okay,
Pouting.
fine.
He's pouting.
You're doing a good
Local
job.
news,
You're doing a good job. Go ahead.
53rd Street Starbucks voted to unionize. This marks the second Starbucks in Iowa to unionize. So stop by there, grab your Starbucks, and show them your support.
That's grande.
And going back, talking about SOAR and our retirees, for those of you that don't know, I hope most of you know that Iowa is no longer taxing your retiree income. And then one other thing, some of you may have gotten notice that you need to turn in proof of your Medicare Part B so you can continue to get the reimbursement. You can bring it down here and we can fax it in for you. I think most of you, it's got to be in by the 25th, which is tomorrow. But if you still haven't sent it in, bring it down here next week. And then September 5th, there will be a Medicare and Social Security presentation down here at the hall.
Again, that's part of the SOAR meeting.
Yeah, sorry.
You had high expectations, huh, Pat?
I know he didn't. I know for a fact that he didn't.
Oh, man, it's almost sad to see it end.
All right.
No,
Almost.
not really today.
I don't know about that.
You've been kind of quiet over there,
It's a
buddy.
little rough. Yeah.
It's been one of those days. I'm a little tired.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You got to work this weekend?
I picked up a shift, yeah.
We can talk about the tornado alarm.
What about it?
Not everybody heard it across the planet.
Well, I mean, we should address that then.
It's already been addressed.
Has it?
Yep. For those of you that didn't hear the tornado alarm today, I appreciate the phone calls. It has been addressed with security and safety, and it is being worked on. It is presently being worked on. So.
Anything else that's not on the agenda, Pat?
I can't think of anything right now.
All right. Well, it's that time, Sean.
What time is that?
Time for you to tell people where they can find us.
Well, if they're listening to us already, they have found us.
Well, maybe they want to tell their friends. Like,
You know, some of
they're
these
like-
people don't know.
They're like, those guys are funny. You got to listen to this.
Especially that
let's-
Pat Stock guy
Not today.
Let's pretend they live.
in Cape Girardeau, right?
No, I mean, just outside
Jeez.
the outside our Quad City area.
Well, if that's the case, they can find us on our Facebook page at Steel Revolution Podcast, USW Local 105 Apple Podcast app, Podcast Addict, for Android devices, Android app, Google Play Music, iHeart Radio app, Spotify app, YouTube.com, the Odyssey app, Libsyn.com, and Loco's website. Oh, and the men's restroom here at Loco 105.
Yeah, which reminds me, gotta get a new pint glass.
We got to work on that. Yeah.
Happy Memorial Day.
Oh yeah, happy Memorial Day.
All right.
Anything else?
No, it's just like all of a sudden ending. It's like real quick.
Are you sad or what?
Nah, I got other stuff to do.
What, this is not important? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, it's important.
Okay.
It just was a little off.
It was a lot off today.
Well, look to your left, Roy.
Yep.
Yeah. Lee.
He didn't say you look to your left. He said Roy looked to his
Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's other things to his left.
That would have caused it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And that picture just threw him off over there.
no.
What would have caused it?
No.
All right, then. Don't forget to say something good about your union.
Every day.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye. Steel Revolution is a podcast by USW Local 105, Bettendorf, Iowa.